the gen still regresses. You still lose like 10 seconds of the generator. So even if you play it correctly, the killer still benefits from it in some way. That would be like if you swung into a dead hard and you successfully hit the dead hard, and then all the survivors' generator progress is slowed down by 50%. You're like, why? I timed it right. Why am I still getting punished? So it still has an effect even if you don't succeed on the main incapacitate effect. Now, all this I don't think really matters much because, as we know, Eruption is most likely getting nerfed. They're talking about changing it. So I don't think this really matters much anymore. I guess the main point is, does Dead Hard need to be nerfed? And I actually don't think it does need to be nerfed anymore. Again, original Dead Hard was stupid, uncounterable bullshit. I'm glad they did finally nerf that. But the current version of Dead Hard, again, for the 4th time, unless you play Huntress or Trickster or like one of the 4 or 5 range killers, is honestly fine, and I actually find it pretty interesting. I think there is nothing sweeter than timing that perfect lunge at the end of a Dead Hard through a pallet, getting the down and the pallet. It is like the best feeling in the world. But very difficult. Overall, I think Dead Hard is not as impactful as Eruption currently, but Eruption's slated to be changed, and once that changed, I don't think there's even an argument anymore. So, all that being said, yeah, Dead Hard can still win you a game in certain scenarios. I just think Eruption does it more. That's it. Pretty much boils down to that. Do I think Dead Hard needs changes? Not really, no. I think it's fine. I think without...
Oh no, chat. Oh wait, he used power.
Oh my god, there's no way.
And he missed. If he's a Legion, he'll respect everything. And then he won't swing. He's gonna swing for this if he's a Legion. Only if he's a Legion, though. He'll swing for this if he's a Legion. He is a Legion. It is true. It's confirmed. Ah, you got me.
No. Cats couldn't be rotten. doesn't want to.
You all played.
What's the worst thing your mom caught you doing as a kid? Story 1. My mom walked in on me shooting up H. Needle in arm, belt in my mouth, F. One of the most shameful moments in a life filled with bad crap. Sober 7 years now. Edit. For those interested, despite the shame, I went upstairs and shot up again to make it all go away. I continued to use it for 6 more months. I went to treatment, kept relapsing in treatment, and even in detox. Friend brought drugs in his underwear. I didn't want to relapse, but I could not stand living sober. It made me want to rip my skin off. I was getting exposed to a lot of...
No, Ollie does what Ollie wants. No, it's his. It's his plan. Yeah, he loves petting. He wants you to pet him like that.
Oh yeah? I think he's just being a dick. He's trying to put all my stuff
No, he
up.
wants attention. Dude, stop pushing your stuff off. He just wants attention.
What did you do last night?
I don't know. Alright, Ollie.
Yeah, because, Sean wants me to know when he's supposed to go to dance. Oh, you
And he's right back on the planet. Pretty interesting.
Sean wants me to know when he's supposed to go to dance.
Alright, Max. Looks like you're mine now.
ANNA, and the stuff they were saying made a lot of sense. My insanity and actions finally made sense to me. The people seemed to know exactly how I felt, and I could tell they had lived the same pain, self-inflicted.
So I encountered a crazy phenomenon on stream the other day, and there has to be an explanation to this question I have, and I can't quite put my finger on it. I have a question for the survivors and the survivor mains. And don't worry, I am also a fellow survivor main. At least that's what I have to say, because the idea of someone playing both sides is despicable to both killer and survivor mains nowadays. Every rank reset, I play one side more than the other, but when I first started playing the game almost 2
Oliver. He's being a naughty cat. Ooh. I see him. Ollie does what Ollie wants.
Alright, y'all, let's see what this video is, man. Girl copies Wednesday Addams dance and regrets it. Alright, let's see what we got here, man.
Some new amazing videos with my daughter on her YouTube channel. I would love for you to check it.
Yo, this poor girl, she was just born a week ago and she's already Yo, she was just born a week ago and she's already in videos. Oh man, hey, that's how you keep that money farm going, man. Fuck it.
Out. You can click the link above or the link in the description. I'll also pin it to the top of the comment section.
Cat tunnel.
Wow, such a good show to watch. I love being on Christmas break.
Yeah, it was.
There's no other good shows to watch now. I miss Wednesday Addams already.
No, that's
And Enid.
That's how I felt, man. Yo, yeah, Wednesday was pretty good.
President got the eruption call of Rhine value he has to get. Oh, no. Nah, bro wants that value. Whole team's yelling. Pretty nice. I'm just gonna let him hit, man. I don't want to get any sort of stock. Hey, why is Shaq not on this side of the map anymore? What? I was counting on Shaq. Ian. Thank goodness he followed around like that. No, you never make that. Why would you go for that? Never in a million years. There's a pallet back here. Oh, this pallet's horrible. Where's Shaq? Oh, he's gonna go around. Oh, Shaq's on that corner now. Why ever so? Wait, I didn't know that would be blocked. Ah, if Kate had just stayed. There's nothing to do, run behind me, that's what I should have done, but there's nothing.
good, man. Not gonna lie, that's exactly how I felt, bro. It was over. I'm like, oh, what do I watch now, bro?
You're right. I learned a lot from it. I know. It was awesome. It's got everything about friendship and bravery, and the suspense was great too.
Okay,
It's
now
not more
okay.
than that, Emily. You're only
Okay,
picking
you're
up the
glazing. You're
tribal
glazing.
It's cliches.
That's funny. You're quoting the show.
I'm not just quoting it. I see a lot of myself in her. Stubborn, single-minded, obsessive, like a serial killer.
In fact, I'll be right back.
I'm just getting a little irritated. Can she please blow her nose? I know this is very off topic. Can she please like blow her nose? Because like, I'm sorry. It was really
Very good reassurance by the teammates. Very, very good.
off topic, but it's really getting to me.
Okay, but where are you going? You'll see.
Let's go, teammates. Ooh, I'm gonna have to dead hard the pallet. Wait, no, I think I make that. No. Now I have resilience. Come on, wait, pallet. Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Oh. No, he would swing. Or did they make the locker closer? Oh yeah, this isn't a very defendable 3-gen for him. His only hope is to tunnel me out. I wasn't gonna win a dead hard in that situation. Tiny bit of a speed boost. Michaela on the K. Damn, bro really just wants the 1K. Nah, he can't be doing that. This dude sucks, honestly. Well, it's better fun than being the one who does the gens, I guess. Get me off of this hook. That was your chance, Kate. Come on, you just need 2 healthy people because it's a ghost face without save the best for last. Like, come on. Ghostface without save the best for last. Can easily get this with a 2-man save. Come on, running out of time. It's the easiest 2-man save in the world. See, just like that, easy. Ghostface trying to be toxic. Fair enough if you can, but why do you have to do the crouching? Yeah, look how low blood points he got. It's trash.
Oh, interesting outfit. I guess Wednesday really inspired you.
I've realized I'm allergic to color.
Here's some.
Emily, you look like a unicorn pooped on a rainbow.
Okay. But anyways, Corinne got this.
You know what they say? A spider is a girl's best friend.
I'm pretty sure they say diamonds
God.
are a girl's best friend.
I could eat diamonds for breakfast.
That wouldn't be very good for your stomach.
Whatever.
Okay, so you wanna go out? Let's go to the mall. It's sunny today.
What I hate about going out, the sun and the people.
Okay, fine. If you just wanna stay at home.
Please
Wait,
make it stop,
no, I
Samir.
wanna go.
Please, please.
Everyone's going to be there today for the Christmas event. Who knows? Maybe we might even bump into Xavier.
All I want is for Xavier to bump into a tree. Or maybe a pole.
Is this how some people feel about anime? Is that what happens when like people?
Ladies, what is a dead giveaway that a guy watches too much Korn when you sleep with him? He lays his phone on your chest while you're doing it and watches Korn. I'll reuse my comment from another Ask Reddit thread about guys in Korn, deep throating. I'll give you a bejesus, but don't force it down my throat constantly like in Korn. The next morning, I think I'm coming down with a cold, but really my throat is chafed for days. A lack of light and gentle erotic touch. The kind that gives you goosebumps of pleasure as you explore each other's bodies, with the focus on exploration of pleasure. By the time he eventually makes it to my vulva, I'm wet enough that we sort of just slip together without any effort on his part, compared to the old spit on it and jam it in there. That actually seems more like a sign the guy doesn't watch too much at all. Unless this user's seen way different videos than I have. Different videos than the ones I've heard about from friends. I'm pretty sure the guy that watches it too much is going to very much be one of the spit on it and jam it in there variety. I could be wrong about this, it's just a guess. Boning like he's trying to jackhammer concrete. Wasn't having hanky-panky, but made out with a guy who shoved his hand in my mouth. Like I guess some girls are into finger sucking, but having some dude's unwashed hand stuck in my gob was not fun. Literally tries to ram you in the butt full force, thinking it's hot, when in actuality, all it did was take away my sitting privileges. It's not a race to the finish, dude. Calm down. Go easy on my butt. It's the only one I got. Do you have more than one of anything else he might ram it in? Because that honestly sounds more fascinating than all of the stories in this video combined. I actually think I read a comic book about a woman like that one time. It was a little weird, but I guess that goes without saying. In any case, it wasn't a Marvel comic, although I'd love to see the MCU take that turn. It'd really enhance the ratings for the next season of She-Hulk. When they open up to a camera that isn't there, they see men in Korn freaking from the side, playing open to the camera. So they adopt that method because girls seem to enjoy it, not realizing why he's at that sideways angle. Not as bad as some of the others here, and nothing to do with doing it, but was texting a guy I was matched with on Tinder, and we were talking about our physics. I mentioned that my size was D, and he replied using one of my pictures, saying they don't look like double D though. I don't know what to tell you, man, but sorry, my real-life human double Ds don't look like handmade Ds. Wait, this OP is saying she met a guy on Tinder who only cared about her cup size? That's insane. I always thought Tinder was where you went when you were looking for someone who's looking to settle down with someone they truly care about. I can't believe I had that wrong. If we can't rely on Tinder to set us up with sensible, upstanding people, then the world has truly hit its low point. If he's a random hookup and tries choking you or smothering you by covering your mouth and nose, despite you pushing his hands away multiple times. Not like this has ever happened to me. These are the kinds of threads where I read about 90% of the comments, jackhammering you till he finishes. Then asks if you came even though he didn't even touch your contemporary literature. aka C.lit, when a guy rubs the lips instead of the clematis. I've seen that in corn all the time, and I don't understand it. The clematis isn't that hard to find at all. Asks to do a deep throat exactly like those corn stars. Says it's not that hard, and forced me. Even if I don't like it, he says that it's not right, that I must do it like them. Shows me how to do it, says that I'm too quiet, that I don't moan or do dirty talk. Too long didn't read, compares everything to corn. Want to act like they do in corn. I feel like I need some clarification on just what this OP means when she says he shows her how to do it. Does the guy just grab a popsicle out of the freezer and start going to town? Because honestly, if you're going to ask a woman to do that, especially one who isn't into you, you should probably try it yourself at least once to see how supposedly easy it really is. Not saying I've done that myself, just saying I'll have no trouble making friends if I ever wind up in prison. I want to make you squirt. Proceeds to violently rub clematis like he's vigorously scratching records. He hummed the intro music. These comments are making me not want to do it. A coworker's girlfriend would let him wear VR goggles so that he could be banging whoever he saw. I like to think there's a twist in this story where the guy was actually playing the new VR version of Among Us the whole time. If you've played that game before, you've probably seen creeps in the lobbies trying to get young girls to add them on Snapchat. Apparently there's something about jelly beans and welding goggles that gets a lot of guys pretty hot. The assumption that I'm going to have Olympic gym mass level synchronous. If minis haven't gone past my ears in a while, I'm going to have to do some stretching first. His idea of foreplay is you suck his pee-pee. It's been said many times before, but apparently it's still relevant today. Learning to make love by watching porn is like learning to drive by watching NASCAR. BDSM things. Choking, slapping, spitting, name-calling, without asking. Jackhammering hard and long enough to bruise my thighs. Thinking I can ride cowgirl for more than 40 minutes without taking a break. Hanky-panky that lasts 4 hours without anyone finishing. Eating me out like a pudding cup. Treating my boobaloobaloobies like a boppet. Not being able to look me in the eye. Only being able to finish by jerking off, etc. That last one's the big sign. Guys who spend too much time with their hands often lose the ability to be fully pleasured by another person. I don't even know what to say about the pudding cup. Was the guy sticking a spoon inside her? Because I've never seen that happen in a video, but it's the only way this makes sense to me. Either that, or this OP needs some serious etiquette lessons on how to eat pudding. The kids at her school must have thought she was raised by wolves. He asked me if I could hold one leg straight up in the air so we could do it standing up like I was some sort of circus yoga master. It was one of our first times. It didn't go well. The best way to tell is when they ask for impossibly complicated positions and genuinely don't understand why you can't bend into a pretzel and take a pee-pee in your butt like a human fleshlight. Edit to add, this is my most popular comment ever, and I didn't want to go down for this in history, but here we are. When he gets mad at me because he can't make me finish. Kisses like a washing machine. Pushes your head down when blowing you. Wants to choke you immediately during doggy style. Wants anal without lube. Wants to frick you till you squirt. Wants to go from hoo-ha, arse, mouth, to any of the others without washing. Edit. Thanks for awards and upvotes. And I think I should have said this before, but communication is key during hanky-panky and relationships. Things like choking without permission keep coming up in these stories, and I can't help but wonder, couldn't that get you in legal trouble if someone reported it? If you're not going to respect the woman who's quite literally throwing you a bone, it seems like you'd at least want to keep your back covered. The last thing you probably need is to limit your job prospects and available housing options because you caught a registerable charge that could have easily been avoided by learning about women from actual women instead of paid actors. There's a difference in tone when asking, do you like that? Is this position enjoyable for you? And, do you like that? Yeah, witch, I'm giving you this dong. Woo! And please know, we know the difference. Start with the first one, and once we are actively enjoying the pee-pee, move on to that second one. Making zero attempt at foreplay or any kind of partner stimulation. Trying to use spit as lube, then asking, are you always this dry? To which I answered with a solid, nope. Thinking that having a huge pee-pee automatically makes them a hanky-panky god. Also trying crazy positions that don't even make practical sense. Thinking that ramming your cervix feels good for you, then act surprised when you roll over and cry from pain. Well, I hope this OP doesn't actually let the guy see this comment, because I can promise you, telling him that he's huge will not discourage him. It doesn't matter that it's immediately followed by an insult to his bedroom prowess. You can say literally any negative thing you want to a man. If you preface it with a positive assessment about the size of his skin pickle, he won't hear anything else you say to him for the rest of the week. When he's disgusted by women who have larger labia and thinks that it means they've had a lot of whoopee. No foreplay. He touches her for 30 seconds, sticks a finger in to see if she's wet, slaps pee-pee on clematis. During hanky-panky, he makes no sound, comes, and then rolls over. Thinks choking means crushing your trachea. This one's actually just inexperience. For guys who aren't aware, when a woman's into choking, which you should always double check, you're actually supposed to squeeze from the sides, so you aren't actually cutting off her windpipe. The goal is to simulate the experience, not to actually strangle her. One leads to a more thrilling bedroom experience, the other leads to a late-night trip to the woods with a pair of gloves and a shovel. Jackhammering everything. No foreplay, sessions last hours. When he fingers you, but it's actually just him scratching the inside of your hoo-ha like it's itchy, assuming that you like being choked. One of the biggest scares of my life was when a guy I was making out with would grab my throat out of nowhere, then said it was force of habit when I freaked out. I had to experience this with guys who said they're finding it too hard to make special goo because they jerk it too much. I know what y'all say, maybe he just wasn't that into it, but I think it's a real thing. I know that TikTok has trained a lot of people to censor their comments because they think they'll get removed, even though that's not as much of a thing on Reddit unless you use a particularly egregious word, like the N-word, but special goo is maybe censoring just a little bit too hard. Our cups are runnething over with the stuff from the moment we wake up in the morning. It's really not that special. I hooked up with a guy who immediately went a little too rough or dominating too quickly. He hooked his fingers in my mouth, threw me around harshly, and just overall didn't care I was a little uncomfortable with how hard he was doing things. I've seen corns go slower than needed, copying the grunts and dirty talk and the occasional slap in the face. It's one thing if this occurs naturally or the partner has already expressed an interest, but if it's the first time and they do any of this, it's clear they're acting on what they think they should do rather than from experience. Some dudes seem to not understand that the best hanky-panky involves a connection with the other person, rather than putting on a show. I have no problem with people watching porn. I do too. But porn and real hanky-panky are as different as a soap opera in real life. And it feels very weird when someone doesn't seem to get that. My evil twin once sent me a letter, tricking me to go out to a cabin in the woods where I was scratched by a werewolf. When I called an ambulance, a detective showed up as well. He got there just in time to see the body of my ex-wife's lawyer fall through the attic ceiling and into the room. It turns out my ex and my evil twin were actually working together to have me framed. Nothing really happened with the werewolf bit because we changed writers mid-season, so I'm the last person you want to try and convince that real life isn't like a soap opera. But yeah, definitely ask a woman's permission before slapping her in the face. That part is solid. Assuming every girl wants to blow them and be satisfied with just that. Finishing on their face or boobaloobaloobies is stimulating enough the woman does not need any pleasure. And dirty talk should include degrading names without asking if it's okay. The instant jackhammer. Treating the clematis as if it's a doorbell. Ring doorbells are so popular on TikTok right now, I assume this OP means the guy is just standing in front of it and acting out fake Karen videos for undeserved likes, which would actually make for a pretty intriguing first time. If any guys out there are with someone who you know isn't going to work out, then by all means, give this a try and let me know how it goes. Loitering around the dryer. Guys like this will try positions that look good on camera, but don't really feel good. They don't pick up signals from their partners either. Honestly, they don't even look that good on camera. Obviously, enough guys disagree with me to keep those shots popular. We will forever be treated to extreme close-ups of a man's hairy brain bag slapping against his fake stepsister's sweaty meat curtains with no sense of setting or geography, and apparently some people like that. I'm just saying, there's a reason you don't see these videos getting Academy Award nominations for cinematography. This thread is depressing. He comes in dressed as a plumber, asking to do it in the butt, threesomes, special goo on your face constantly, playing the DJ pricks a little too enthusiastically, eating you out for 3 seconds like they're licking the ice cream out of the Oreo and expecting you to finish. I like to scrape the cream off one Oreo and onto another, so I get double the cream in one bite. I'd ask if that works as an analogy to any kind of adult video, but Rule 34 tells me that it not only most likely exists, it's probably its own entire subgenre. The internet really is both the most useful and most terrifying gift we've ever been given. I'm really surprised hoo-ha slapping hasn't come up yet. Guys that think stimulating you for like a minute is blowing your mind. There's a certain way guys who watch a lot of Korn will try to finger me, and it's so consistent that it has to be from Korn. It's like 2 fingers slapping me in the hoo-ha almost. It doesn't do much for me personally, and we usually move on to better things, but I've suspected for a while they got it from Korn. And I just want to say, don't be ashamed or embarrassed if you've done this. It's no big deal. From my own experience, hooking up with girls successfully can be challenging, and personally, I found it to be extremely intimidating, especially because every girl is different or has different preferences. The real solution is a lot of communication within reason, asking her what she likes. Ask if something feels good. Go slowly, etc. You really can just Google tips and techniques, and that's a good place to start. I disagree with this OP about using Google, just because I've read the tips that women get from Cosmo about how to please us, and some of them are neither enjoyable nor even remotely tolerable. So I have to imagine some of the tips men will find about pleasing women online are similarly unreliable. But more importantly, everyone's different. For all I know, I'm wrong about the Cosmo thing. Maybe there are some guys who really love having ice cubes shoved in their pepper hole or whatever. But when you're trying to please another person, there's no better source of information than your partner themselves. Everyone wants to break out some new trick they've learned to seem more adventurous or knowledgeable, but this is an adventure you're going on together. Treat it that way. Asking if you squirt. He brought a fluffer with him. Keeps calling you stepsis. These answers are awesome and relatable and hilarious. Most of the dead giveaways have already been answered, so to make the men of Reddit feel better, here are some cringy ways Korn influenced me as a young woman. Cringy dirty talk, faking loud origamis because I thought it was normal, and hard and fast tugging hand gigs. Thank goodness for this OP, especially for bringing up that last one. It's like that woman with the 2 pleasure holes said earlier about her rear end. I only have one of these things. I'm really not looking for a woman to rip it off of me.
Oh, don't waste the power. That was a beautiful fake. He'll never see me there. Oh. Good. Money to take a hit. There's the perfectly timed FOV tech I was going for. Cool. Oh, save the best for last much. Oh, very good attempt. Lori's being healed. See, this is what Deja Vu does when it makes the last 3 gems this far apart. This is what Deja Vu does to a game. to say he's coming over here next to this gym. I was about to say nobody's going for that save. Yeah, look at that. That saved us for last. Like, insane saved us for last. Oh my goodness, if he actually catches Ada, he wins. A horrible free gem turns into a win. Why would he have it there? Oh, there ain't no reason for that.
Sure, go fast. Just remember that there's a difference between fast and aggressive. You're not trying to rip the casing off the thing like it's a Budin. Also, no moaning. At all. Like, I get it, you're the pinnacle of manliness, and men don't make noises ever in Korn, but could I pretty please hear you groaning at my neck? Thanks. Edit. Guys, you do not have to moan if you're not comfortable with it. That's the whole point of Hanky Panky, to be honest. This comment was directed to people who don't do what they want out of shame or societal norms, and even so, that's completely okay too. Why aren't you moaning? Maybe because it's 3 in the afternoon and your roommate is in the next room? Just because your pee-pee enters me doesn't mean I involuntarily start moaning. When they try to take pictures without consent. Like, yeah dude, I get you've seen that in Korn, but in real life that simply isn't done. I should probably clear this up for any woman out there who are under the same misconception as this OP. Guys aren't taking pictures because they saw that in a video somewhere. They're doing it so they can show off to their friends. I'm not saying this to bring down my own kind, but I've had a number of roommates throughout the years show me unsolicited pictures of their hookups. If you want to let a guy photograph you, that's your business. Just be aware that he will not be the only one who sees it. Goes right for the butthole. Edit. Thank you for the awards con, strangers. When you ask for foreplay and he whizzes on you. Not washing your hands or trimming your nails before touching or fingering the hoo-ha. Nobody wants your freaking ugly wizard nails ripping their pussycat apart. To be fair, I think a lot of people skip out on washing their hands afterward too, which is equally unsanitary when you think about it. You should also probably brush your teeth, if we're being sticklers about it. Anybody ever experiences he wants to change positions every 2 minutes? When he insists on buying lemon tree insurance. He was genuinely surprised when he was told that not all girls love giving bejesuses. He thinks spitting on your bum is sufficient as a warm-up attempt lubricant for doing it in the butt. When he's uncut and thinks he's ugly, or when he thinks being a grower and not a shower is a problem. Like, maybe it's just me, but watching the old turtle come out of its shell because dude likes me is a huge turn-on. I'm sure this will be reassuring to some guys, although I'm not sure if they'll find it complimentary having their junk compared to an ugly, wrinkled reptile. But I guess turtles are ninjas too, so that's kinda cool. Although it suggests this OP sees a pizza-stained, sewage-dwelling Wang and immediately finds that kind of hot. Or maybe I'm just taking the metaphor a bit too far. I just want to know if I can start using mine to fight bad guys like Donatello's bow staff. Guys who watch too much Korn reading this thread. Write that down, write that down. When they expect you to look like a Korn star. No cellulite, completely shaved, Korn star genitalia, etc. If you don't, they complain or show disgust. When he makes it clear his goal is to beat it up and leave you sore, which you never are. More like annoyed and uncomfortable. Rubbing your general crotch area like a genie lamp. Is that it? You like that? Nah bruh, it feels like you're giving my vulva an Indian sunburn. When your guy starts bouncing his pee-pee rapidly on your axe wound before entering. I once read that guys in Korn do this to warn his co-star that he's about to enter. Whether it's true or not, I don't know that it does make sense. Where it doesn't make sense is in real life where that rule isn't universal and it's just completely random. I don't think it makes sense in movies either. Why would he need to warn her what he's about to do? She knows why she's there, right? Don't tell me these women are showing up to work with no idea what kind of movie they're about to film. I'm pretty sure the real reason they do it is for the fantasy element. It's the human male equivalent of spraying the rug. Thumping our wieners against people, places, and things is how we show ownership. I'm mostly saying this in case my roommate is watching. I'm glad you enjoyed that Klondike bar you stole, but I'm having the last laugh. Being critical of normal stuff. like having some cellulite, body hair, a little fat rolls in some positions. I honestly think that for a lot of men, if they came across a woman who did not shave, wax, or pluck their body hair, they would think the woman is some sort of yeti or has some disorder that makes them overly hairy. Some of these have been mentioned, but spitting on a girl for lube, like long range hawking at my hoo-ha, no sir. Abusing the clematis like he's a DJ, no stroke technique, he's just straight in and out. If he's feeling fancy, he'll just go faster. Corn isn't centered around women's pleasure, so they don't know angles or hip movement. Dirty talk, as Corn catchphrases like growling, oh yeah. Now I feel like I'm having hanky-panky with a Kool-Aid man. Edit. Clarification about being spit on. Edit about stroke technique. If your hips are locked, then you're just jabbing your pee-pee in and out, only hitting one angle, which may work for some women. If you move your hips while you thrust, you hit more angles. Better chance of clematis stimulation so she can finish. Think of a digging motion, or small circles like a hula hoop. I feel bad for any DJs watching this. You guys really got eaten alive in these critiques. It's not only the #1 comparison these women made, but it might be the only analogy used for this particular pleasure style, besides the doorbell thing. It makes me wonder if there's actually more art to scratching records than these women seem to think. In any case, the bit about the Kool-Aid man inspired me to absolutely ruin my search history. Let's just say that Rule 34 is definitely alive and well. I found Kool-Aid getting it on with Tony Tiger while Frankenberry watched. And it makes me wish more of these comments had been about the guys who watch the really freaky stuff. I want to hear from a woman whose man won't touch her unless his Twilight Sparkle doll's allowed to watch them from the nightstand. These people didn't want to give me that. Commenters, scratch my itch and share the craziest thing you've encountered in the comments below. Please leave your stories in the
What is up, YouTube? It's Spooky Loops, obviously, and I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. The reason why I clicked on this video is because of the title. It says going forward. Before we go any further, I wanted to discuss what happened in 2022. 2022 for my channel was amazing. My YouTube channel grew by over 300,000 subscribers. I made a whole bunch of really, really cool videos, and we met a lot of really, really cool people on the internet. Same goes for my Twitch channel as well, too. If you're curious, I stream over at Twitch at twitch.tv/SpookyLoops every Saturday through Tuesday, starting at 4 p.m. PT. Come say hi. We'd love to have you. But yeah, in short, 2022 was a fantastic year, and now we are in 2023, and I wanted to make a video today and explain what you can expect from me going into this new year and the direction that I plan on taking my channels. So I'm going to break this video down in a couple of quick segments. I'm going to talk about what is coming in the immediate future, and then I'm going to explain what's going to be happening in terms of my channel and the kind of content we make in Dead by Daylight as a whole. #1, right off the bat, you're going to see a lot of short-form content come to the channel, being that YouTube is now monetizing.
What are some signs that you're unattractive? If you ever try to make a self-depreciating joke and everyone is visibly uncomfortable. When you post a bikini pic and people congratulate you on your bravery. Guys in high school made a list of their female classmates and ranked them by attractiveness. I expected to be at the bottom, but I wasn't even in it. I had a coworker try to set me up with another coworker. It got back around to me that this girl said, "You must not think very highly of me if you're trying to set me up with him." Edit. Holy crap, I never expected this comment to get so much attention. If you guys like rejection stories, I have tons more. Someone gave me gold. I don't know what that means exactly, but thank you. So, a little more backstory. This was almost a decade ago in a large workplace, a hospital. I read a few comments which suggested that maybe she didn't like me because of my personality, and I don't think this was the case because we didn't know each other. We worked in completely different departments. I worked in materials management and she was a barista in the coffee shop. We didn't know each other. The friend who tried to set us up was a CNA who knew us both individually. This friend spoke English as a second language, and I firmly believe there was no malicious intent. When she told me the barista's response, my friend didn't quite understand it exactly, and there wasn't intention to hurt my feelings. When your bro's GF offers to hook you up with her single ugly friend, even though she has many other very attractive single friends. When people say you look like someone famous, and that famous person is not attractive. Two of the worst I got were Meatloaf, which ain't bad, the dude rocks, and Corey from Pawn Stars, which made me reevaluate my life. One time in high school, these guys came up to me and a group of my friends of 5 girls. They asked us to introduce ourselves, and we started. Once he got to the girl beside me, with 2 of us left to introduce, a guy said, "Y'all can stop here, we only need their names." Shattered my self-confidence. When you use Tinder for about a month and it runs out of people to show you, and there's no matches, meaning everyone in a 10-mile radius with Tinder looked at your pic and thought, nope. Also, believe me, I didn't set my standards too high. Edit. I'm done with Tinder. I'm not looking for advice or tips. I've been at this for 3+ years and heard it all. I've decided to just delete the app and move on. Less a sign of unattractive than it is of being thoroughly average, but if other people seem to spontaneously forget that you exist the instant an attractive person enters the room, I'd say chances are that you're good looking enough to be an acceptable choice and to pay attention to normally, but not good enough to compete with the obvious first choices. When incels don't think you owe them sex. Brutal. When every girl you're interested in tells you how sweet you are and that you'll make someone else so happy someday. When your grandma tells you what a handsome man you are. When a boy takes you on a date and it turns out to be a dare he was put up to by the other boys. I was a complete freaking joke in high school. I lost baby teeth extraordinarily late, so I was missing a ton of front teeth, had braces, hadn't developed yet, skin was flipping its stuff with hormones and stuff. I looked like hammered dog poo. So their idea to add insult to injury was to take me on a fake date to laugh at me. I was so hurt for the longest time. Then high school ended, I got to college, and maturity hit me like a frickin' bus. Went from flat to a C, gained weight, I was scrawny. My teeth came in and the braces came off. Skin calmed down. I'm 21 and I look like I just got into high school. So same boy came back, not realizing who I was when I was visiting home, stood him up. No joke, stood his butt up. The opposite sex has never hit on you. On your social media, your profile picture isn't a picture of you. Extra points if it's a cartoon/anime character. I don't think I'm especially unattractive, but I use cartoons. Social media, your profile picture isn't a picture of you. Extra points if it's a cartoon/anime character. I don't think I'm especially unattractive, but I used to work with this woman who clearly thought I was. I remember once the topic of ugly people came up. I happened to be looking down and she reached out and pulled up my chin, looked into my eyes and said, "But we know it's what's inside that counts." So I guess my answer is people making a point of playing up your personality and non-physical good qualities. My mom had to tie a pork chop around my neck so the dog would play with me. When picking out a group picture, nobody cares if you turned out well. When they ask you to take the group photo. People don't spontaneously or enthusiastically take pictures of you. I have an acquaintance who is really gorgeous and photogenic. Most of her Facebook posts are her doing these spontaneous photo shoots with her friends, where they do all these yoga/dance poses, jokey model poses, just normal selfies, etc. People just want to take her picture. Another dude I know is also pretty good looking, like normal attractiveness, and looking through his pictures, people just take lots of random pictures of him being spontaneously goofy and funny. For people who are less attractive, taking pictures is more forced. You have to ask people if they can take a picture of you. People kinda reluctantly agree, but they want to get it over with. You won't have many pictures that capture spontaneous fun or goofing around because you had to stop and ask someone. It'll be a quick, "Hey, we're hanging out" selfie, but we all probably won't look at the picture together. I notice with the more attractive/photogenic people, not only are there more pictures, but people want to look through them and comment on how awesome they are. This probably doesn't apply to being unattractive.
Oh my goodness. It shows the actual generator progress now. That's mad.
But more to being not that attractive. When they put in little effort, you might get them interested in a date, but it's low priority. If you're attractive, they'll make time. Not so attractive, it's like, meh, I have nothing to do on X day, why not? When you're joking around with a friend insulting each other and the friend calls you ugly, the rest of the group either jumps to your defense, gasps, or otherwise looks uncomfortable. Source: grew up somewhat ugly, LOL. When the girl sitting next to you in 6th grade Spanish literally turns away when the teacher tells you to work together. Then when she tells the teacher, I don't want to work with him, the teacher looks at you and says, you can do this assignment by yourself. When your best friend has you stand on top of your house and yell, I'm ugly and I'm proud, for the whole world to hear. Also, if no one's BF/GF is ever even slightly jealous/suspicious of them hanging out with you. I get some people just don't get jealous, but if no one does, maybe you're just so ugly you're clearly not a threat. When the person you are with won't introduce you to their family or friends. Yes, when I used to be fat, I was dating this guy and he kept me under wraps. Other people found out about us and asked him about it. He claimed he was seeing lots of girls. Due to my low self-esteem, I stayed with him even though he did deny my existence and always tried to get with other girls. When you're having a hypothetical conversation about dating or relationships and someone has to say, not that I'd ever date you, or they can't even have the conversation because they had to make it really clear that they wouldn't date you to the point you forget what dating/relationship thing you were even talking about. It's really distracting because you don't want to date them and now you suddenly feel insulted for some reason. I'm not sure where I fall in the scale because I get mixed messages, but I used to be friends with a girl for a year and a half. I could make her smile and laugh every day and have hour-long conversations. She knew I was into her, but she was in a relationship already. Eventually, she dumped him and she sent me a snap saying, guess who's single? I took the initiative because if that isn't the biggest hint ever, I don't know what is. I asked her out and she said yes. It took a month to set up the date. She stood me up. Haven't talked since. Nice. Really helps too when the last chick I asked out stood me up too. Everything was go that day and I said, okay, so where do you want me to pick you up? My house, she said. She never told me where she lived before. Then 6 hours later she said, oops, sorry, I slept through my alarm. Yeah, her 4:30 p.m. alarm. You know how you have a nap before telling someone where you live? And before that, I got cheated on just after my GF made it official and told everyone. Haha, fun times. When there's only one seat left on the bus and it's next to you, yet the bus is full of people standing up. No matter how I look at it, it's you guys' fault I'm not popular. From my real life, when you are one of 10 women at a conference and the other 9 are constantly having to fend off the attention of 500 men and they leave you alone. When you graduate from college, only ever having 3 dates the entire time. When your parents get your and your sister's portrait in silhouette done by an instant artist at a theme park and they get them and take them home and leave the bag containing the drawings on top of the bookshelf where it cannot be reached. For decades. Only for you to find it when they've passed and you look and see one normal-looking young girl and one unattractive one, and recognize what you didn't 30 years earlier regarding why that art stayed in the bag on top of the bookshelf. When a good friend you've known for 4 years on the net finally meets you in person, and when he recognizes who you are, he involuntarily wrinkles his nose and jerks his head back for 2 seconds before smiling and greeting you.